Hello, I'm Laurie Williamson, CEO of Agriculture for Life. In this edition of Homegrown, my co-host Carli Miller and I visit with Glenn Logan, a Southern Alberta farmer, to talk about his life on the farm. Well, to get us started, we're super excited. We've got Glenn Logan with us today, and Glenn is a board member of Ag for Life, and has been for a number of years. But I guess equally important is Glenn is a farmer. He's an Alberta farmer, and he is very, very active with boards and commissions. He's traveled the world. He knows agriculture. So Glenn, let's dive right in. How long have you been on the farm?
We took over the farm in 1972. Our farm started in 1906, so it's been in the family a long, long time. And both my wife and I graduated in Calgary and thought, well, we worked for a while, and then we thought, what now? So we had the chance to take over the farm, and it looked like an opportunity, and we've never looked back. And I'm so fortunate that I've never had to work off the farm like a lot of young people do.
And so who you took over from your parents, Glenn?
It was her parents originally, and then we started with a few acres and tripled it again, and we're now just turning it over to Hannah, her dad. So
So
and
is that the third generation then that'll take over the farm?
Hannah's sixth generation on the
Oh,
farm.
oh my goodness. Yeah, I guess so. If you started in 1906, yeah, that's phenomenal. So what is it, Glenn? You mentioned a few points there that Carli and I are going to quiz you on. When you started, you took over the farm. What did you originally? I guess what's changed? What were you growing back there versus what you're doing now?
We're still growing the same things. We're just doing different things with them.
Okay.
We did all the oil seeds. We've got mainly irrigation, produce a lot of the hybrid canola in Southern Alberta, vegetable production, sugar beets, corn, of course, cattle. We have a small feedlot. We have a seed processing plant that all our byproduct goes through our feedlot to capture some more value with it before we let it go. So that's been our business principle for a long time, that we want to add value more than just the ordinary value other farmers receive. It's got to be something better.
Mm-hmm. Well, you mentioned that, and the idea that a lot of farmers do have to have two jobs. They work a day job, if you will, and then they have to come on the farm because they don't earn enough to make a living off of the farm that they maybe have. So what are your thoughts, Glenn? And that's probably a big question, but I mean, you've traveled the world and you know farming inside and out. What is it? How can we change that? What is the ingredient that's going to allow farmers to focus on the farm, growing food, and make that into a viable career and lifestyle?
It's all about profitability. And I don't know how you ensure profitability in any segment where have been price takers for a long, long time, and that always doesn't go well.
Mm-hmm.
So what we lack to allow young farmers to move forward, I think, is rural daycare, good rural health services. Our internet really sucks, as you can tell.
That's what we're doing a Zoom interview.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's a combination of a whole lot of things. And most farmers without supportive family are just not going to make it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's interesting because it's the infrastructure, right? It's not necessarily just right at the farm. It's all of the infrastructure and surrounding vibrant rural communities that we need to ensure that we continue to develop here in the province to keep farming and the farming community strong. Carli, you live in a smaller farming community. You're on the farm. What are you guys growing on the farm?
We're probably just about the same as Glenn here. I actually own a feedlot as well, so we do all the same sort of stuff as he does. We're more, I would say, into the barley wheat type of thing. We're more trying to feed our calves and all that instead of, yeah.
Are you from Acme?
Yes, sir.
Have we put this together?
Yeah,
Every farmer knows
I was
every
starting to get this picture. So your dad is Doug?
No, Lyle
Nope.
Miller.
Well, close enough.
Yeah. Well, that is it. The farming community's tight. I'll tell you that. If anything I've learned is everybody knows everybody, and all you got to do is turn right at the old church and turn left at the old schoolhouse, and you'll get there. So, yeah. So,
Sorry for the interruption.
no, it's all good. I love it. So, and so Glenn, I want to take us back a little bit. When you got into farming, were you raised on a farm?
Yes, my dad was an engineer as well, and so he accumulated a little bit of land. And I originally come from Saskatchewan, so I left Saskatchewan when I was 17, went to university in Calgary, and never really had a reason to go back.
There you go.
But Saskatchewan's looking quite attractive right now, and I'm super envious of the focus the Saskatchewan government's put on agriculture. We could do with a bit of that.
Yeah, there's lots of talk around that. I've certainly heard that around the water cooler out in the pastures, is the importance of having a strong government representing the industry. And Glenn, like I say, you've been on a lot of boards, you've traveled, and you've diversified your business so that it is profitable. And I've known you for a number of years. And one thing you've always been is you're kind of innovative a little bit. Like you were telling me about putting the solar panels at the farm. And so, I remember a comment, you said, you're not going to probably see a profit from it, but the next generation or a couple generations down the line are going to see it. And not a lot of people think like that. So tell us a little bit about how you decide to sort of keep on top of things like this.
I like to talk to a lot of people. I'm interested in things that will support the farm. There's more net profit in growing energy than there is in growing any kind of plants. So we have 2 solar projects on the go now that total 600 and some acres. We're part of a windmill project, Buffalo Plains. You've probably heard about it. We're just in the final stages of approval with AUC. So we're looking forward to that. It creates a lot of income for our community, and everything I've done has always been about community. How do you put families in the vacant houses? How do you put kids in the school? So yeah. Real communities don't have that opportunity very often. So you need to capitalize on it.
Yeah, there's an underpinning there is the rural vibrancy, right? That's where we live. That's where agriculture lives, and we have to support those rural communities, or people move to the city, and that's the end of the glory days, if you will, of agriculture, because there's no one to work. A lot of the work that we do with Ag for Life is around career promotion and promoting the opportunities within ag, whether it's at the primary production level or all across the value chain. But we're talking to Carli today, and we'll ask Carli. I mean, she's a young high school student. She's an Aggie. What are your plans when you're done high school?
I'm planning on doing a whole bunch of traveling. I feel like I need to learn some more about what everyone else is doing and try and bring back some ideas from what they're doing and stuff that we could improve on here. And then I want to go to Olds College for something agriculture related.
So you're going to
the smart farm is phenomenal.
Plug for Olds College, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, they're good. They're our good friends, so that's all. That's fabulous. But there is a lot of the work that we do with students is we talk about agriculture, and 2 or 3 generations removed, we all know that a lot of people are disconnected from the farm. But what's remarkable when you talk to students is when you showcase the science and technology and how innovative the industry is, that really catches people's attention. You know, everyone sort of has that old mentality of old McDonald's farm. And I like to say, well, yeah, old McDonald farm, he just bought a drone, right? He's just a lot more tech savvy. But there's, you know, there's a lot of connections. You know, agriculture is grassroots. Absolutely. We're growing food, you know, stewards of the land. But we, you know, the industry is not like other industries in that it has to advance. We have a lot more people in this world to feed, and we need more sophisticated science and technology in order to do that. So,
And I think you need to realize that people in other parts of the world really do want our agricultural products. You know, government keeps telling us how easy it is to export. It's not easy.
and you know, I remember you telling me that, Glenn, that, and maybe we can talk a little bit about that. What is the perception of Canadian or Alberta agriculture when you're traveling abroad? Is there a favorable perception to it? Is it a brand that other countries are looking for, or are there areas of improvement that we need to work on as an industry?
I think our brand in India right now is not what it could be.
Okay.
And but generally, you know, they have an admiration for farmers. Farmers are farmers, both willing to get their hands dirty. And when you take time to understand them and understand their cultures, then things really begin to happen.
So you took over the farm in 1972, and we're 2021. We've been through COVID. We've been through all of this, or we're still in it, I guess. What have you seen? What are the most drastic changes that you've seen over the last number of years when it comes to, I guess, really consumers and the marketplace of agriculture?
Probably one of the biggest changes has been the adoption of technology, GPS data collection. All the services are out there. Of course, it costs you, but there's a lot of things out there that can help you. And you got to kind of sort through the fluff there. What's really there in your best interest and what isn't.
Interesting. I have to tell you, my grandfather's 103 years old, still alive, and he's a farmer and from Saskatchewan. And when I've asked him that question, so what's the changes? And his number one answer was technology. You know, getting in those cabs today and looking at all of the computerized systems. He said, I wouldn't know how to run it, right? But you know, long live the farmer, 103 years old, still going strong and still loving farming to this day. So,
You know, I hear a lot of people talk about the good old days. Then you ask them, would you like to go back to the good old days?
no,
No.
it's too much work. I mean, everything's work, but that's a lot of work, right?
Yep.
You know, things make life easier. And trying to, you know, help connect that story to consumers again is a lot of the work that Ag for Life does. And so, Glenn, if you were on a panel today and you were asked, what are a couple key messages? What are a couple things you want consumers or Albertans to know about agriculture? What are a couple points that you would like to share?
Never take no for an answer. There's no backup.
Mm-hmm.
The only direction is forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, excellent. Yeah, for sure. And I think that's going to be important. Carli, did you have any questions as a young farm woman going through education and school? Do you have any questions for Glenn that you'd like to ask?
Probably just like, what would you recommend that is what did you find most helpful from the people around you when you were growing up that kind of made you want to come into the farming industry and continue to move on within our industry?
Well, we've always had family around us, and they've always been more than willing to step in and advise when needed. Our own two kids, we knew they were going to make mistakes. Let them make mistakes, just not serious ones. Because we're getting to a point in agriculture now, there's no room for a serious mistake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's too costly.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Absolutely, especially as we head into, spring here in Alberta. You've got to have your plan. It's a business, right? Agriculture is a business, and just like business, you have to plan, you've got to strategize, and the best plans can sometimes go the wrong way, but you got to have that, that scope, that vision in front of you. So
So
anything else?
Carli, you come from a good family.
Yes, I do.
Learn how to draw on them.
Yeah. Years of experience, right? We all, coming up and people have, the old blood, sweat and tears, people have worked hard, and, take that with the new technology and take that wisdom, and then move forward with it, which I think is tremendous. And I love to see the enthusiasm of, students such as Carli and her, her peers, because they're so excited about the future. And, here we are now, we have a challenge of feeding the world, but that's fine. That's not stopping you. It's just how do we move forward? And I think, having networking opportunities is another benefit. I mean, the opportunity for you, Carli, to meet Glenn, who probably knows your dad from, coffee somewhere. It kind of all blends, and it's a very small, powerful community, which I think is fantastic. So, what does this year look like, Glenn, on the farm? So
Dry right now.
we're in March now. What's happening?
Very dry. Not that I
Mm.
like snow, but we need to get some moisture before planting.
Mm-hmm.
We're fortunate we've got irrigation, but still nice to get that little bit of help from nature.
Yeah, for sure. So, and then Carli, what's happening on your farm this time of the year? It's March. What's happening? Are you prepping or?
Yeah, changing a whole bunch of seed hose drills and just getting everything set and ready for seeding.
Excellent.
It's about the same here. Both sets of seed drills are out getting repaired, and we're shipping about 5 or 6 Super B loads of grain out a day. Our feedlot is, we're going to clean the feedlot out here in a few weeks before all the men get in the fields. So reduce the labor tension. And so farmers are always looking forward to a new crop year.
Mm-hmm.
We're kind of dumb that way.
Well, I didn't want to say it.
So Carli, I wish you luck, and you don't have to be down in the dirt all the time. There's lots of need in agriculture for professional people.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So, well, I want to thank you both. I have the privilege of having spent some time with you guys today, and I do wish you the best of luck getting out into the fields and having a great year. But I thank you both for taking the time to connect with us today and to connect with all those that are watching, to say, hey, this is Alberta agriculture. You know what? These are agriculture. These are our farmers. And, we should be darn proud. And we thank you for all that you guys do to make sure that we have some food on our table. So again, thank you for taking the time to chat today.
More than welcome.
Yeah, thank you for having me.